six away, you six away, six away. In every party I reppin', in
Why is that
inside
acting
club
like
I
that?
reppin'. Country people overseas, never deny your Guyanese. In the morning, in in the night, I tell you, anywhere I go, I got my flag, my GT flag, yeah. I am a Guyanese, I am a Guyanese, no matter where I be, I am a Guyanese, I am a Guyanese, I am a Guyanese, no matter where I be, I am a Guyanese. Let me see you put flags up in the air, flags up in the air, something in the air, something in the air, in the air, in the air. Let me see you put flags up in the air, flags up in the air, something in the air, something in the air. Na 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 na. Guyana, I love 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 Guyana. We are one people, one nation, one destiny.
Welcome, 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 guys. I am super excited for today. I'm telling you, I am pumped. Okay. So, welcome back to another episode of Sip and Chat with me, your beautiful coach, Michelle, a dating and marriage coach. So, I want to say welcome to our TikTokers, welcome to our YouTubers, and welcome to our Instagram. Of course, our Facebook followers, you guys been with us forever. So, thank you for being here again. I am super stoked about today, right? Today is going to be, I'm going to tell you, today is going to be a learning experience. I woke up on Monday night or Tuesday night around 1:15, and I stayed up, and I just, these thoughts were just coming to me, and I just was putting it down, and I kept writing and writing, and I just like, I want to do this sip and chat a little different. I want to make sure that I give some really intentional information towards you guys, right? So this sip and chat is about living with purpose. So anyone who you know need to be living in purpose, you need to invite them to this. They need to hear this because this is serious stuff. I am telling you, tonight is going to be fun filled. It's going to be full of information. It's going to help you to actually change the way you've been doing things. And I'm saying for the people who have been doing things a little, because I've been doing things a little, you know what. So tonight is about actually living with intention. So if you guys see me looking down, just understand it's all my messages that I sent to myself when I was writing, and I'm just keeping score of it. So I'm not paying attention to you. I am just trying to jolt my memory for all the stuff that I was just pouring out of me. So guys, I hope you had an incredible day. I hope you guys are ready for tonight. Remember, in order for us to grow, in order for us to actually give information to others, we have to share the life. So please share the life and tell a friend, jump on. Coach is about to give us some real good nuggets. And so that's what we're going to do. So typically we do videos, we do questions, and today we're not. We're going to be me and you. 101. We all in, right? But before, I want to talk about my little attire here. Like I feel like, if you guys think I feel like I look like a headmistress, put in the chat. I feel like a headmistress. I feel like I should be like scolding some kids. I should have a wile of cane in my hand and be threatening somebody's child right about now. But I love the look. I can't find my regular glasses, so I found the old pair and it's working. What you guys think? It's working. So we are gonna jump into it. So living with purpose and stop living by going with the flow. That's what we're gonna talk about today. So how can we live with purpose? Well, here's where I'm gonna tell you that oh goodness that most times people go with the flow, and going with the flow will cost you a whole lot of time, energy, and a whole lot of hurt. And so when you start living with purpose, there's a couple of things you need to think about, right? So here's what I written down when I was at 1 o'clock in the morning. I said, understand there's a couple of things that people want in this life. If you ask people, what is the top 2 or 3 things they want in life, put in the chat what you think those things would be. I would like to know right now in the chat. Tell me what you think. What are the top 2 or 3 things that you think people want in their life? I'm going to look for the chat to see what you guys put in here. Put in the chat, what is the top 3 things you think people are like, if I could get these 3 things, my life is great. What are those 3 things? And please make sure you guys got your juice so we can sip and chat. Okay. So, what are the top 3 things you think people would say they want in their life? For all the TikTokers who are joining, thank you for joining us. I'm looking for, if you only have one, just put one thing in the chat that you think that if you could get this one thing, it will make your life so much better. What we got in the chat? All right, I'm going to tell you, when you do the research, most people are looking for wealth. They're looking for peace or happiness. And they're looking for actually, okay, let me see what they got in there. Okay. Peace and happiness. And so you can find wealth. You can be intentional. Wealth, so let's start there. Wealth is not exclusive to Christians. Most people who follow me are Christians. So wealth is not exclusive to Christian. Anybody can be rich. Anybody could get money. But peace is exclusive. Why is peace exclusive? Because peace comes from knowing who you are, being congruent with the creator who created you. So while we can apply principles and obtain wealth, we can't do the same when it comes to actual peace. Now, people say, oh, I want happiness. Absolutely, we want happiness. But how does happiness show up? Can we get happiness without peace? A lot of people fool themselves because they think if they get the money, then they're going to get the actual peace. No, peace comes from knowing who you are, knowing who you're connected to. So that's what we're going to talk about today. How could we obtain the very thing that is sometimes so hard to obtain because we don't know how to get it? So let's jump into a quick commercial and then we'll come back and we're going to talk about this. So for all my TikTokers, you can see where we go into a commercial unless you're on Facebook, but trust me, we get a little commercial and then we continue going. Peace can come from knowing who you are. Oh, absolutely. That is a profound statement. Absolutely. So let's get the commercial and then I'll be back and then we're going to talk about this.
Begin an exciting adventure of self-discovery. This journal is your own special place to embark on a meaningful journey of exploring and understanding yourself. Get your own copy today. The Discovery of Who Am I? Whose am I? I am. Journal. You can now find the OLM Journal at Austin's Bookstore, located at Lot 190 Church Street, Georgetown. Just Because Shop, located at Miss Proper Boutique at the corner of 1st and Albert Streets, Albertown. And Pure Elegance Beauty Salon, located at Rayon House of Fashion Building, 73 Robb Street between Camp and Wellington Street.
I share the life. So we are back. So here's what we're going to talk about. So most people think that wealth gives you everything, that opens the world to happiness, peace, and that's so false. So wealth actually is a tool that helps you to actually take care of the things that can stress you out, like bills and credit and buying things and having a home, a beautiful home, those things. But when you say you want to obtain happiness and peace, you're tapping in now into the Almighty Creator for that. I am not kidding. I can remember having the most name brand and all this stuff, and I didn't have peace. But I didn't even recognize that I didn't have peace because peace was not something that was shown to me. So I didn't know what peace looked like. No, I'm going to tell you this, until you get in alignment with your creator, you will be far away from that peace you're looking for, far away from that happiness. Happiness is not something that's temporary. It's not based on who is around you or what you're doing. It's something that is from innate, that comes inside of you and it comes out of you, right? That means because you have a sense of peace, a sense of understanding, a sense of knowledge, a sense of just knowing that regardless of what is going on in your life, you will still be okay. That can't come from money. No. So, if you guys have noticed that we have a lot of stars that have, for different reason, committed suicide on drugs, and the reason I pick on them is because I'm saying like they have it all financially. They have it everything. They look like they're living the life. Yet still, there's something that's missing that allows them to go to that extreme. Now, we also know there's chemical imbalance in your brains and stuff that could cause you to be depressed or cause you to. We're not excluding those things, but I'm talking to the person who have it all or seem to have it all and yet still haven't obtained the very thing that they desire most of all. So I have a theory. I think we all born with this see this big space here. We all born with this hole in us, right? And this hole is something that we have a desire to fill, and we can try and fill it with, oh, we get a person we fall in love with and we try to fill it with that, but that doesn't quite do it. Or if it does it for a little bit, it doesn't stay. It's temporal, right? And then we could try and do it with children. We get our children, or we our accomplishment. We get our degrees, we get a great job, but still it feels like something is missing. Well, how can we obtain that if it's not wealth, if it's not tangible things that I could put my hand? How could we obtain that peace that closes that gap in us? Well, here, that's what we're talking about, living with purpose. So my theory is when you get in alignment, right? I best to do it on my hand. When you get in alignment with the one who created you, and that's your vertical relationship with your God, that closes a little bit. And then because you get in alignment with him, you get in alignment with who you are. Jeez, isn't that crazy? Closes the gap even more. And then because you're in alignment with him, because you're in alignment with yourself, you find purpose and passion. You find the reason for being on this earth. Crazy, right? Now you can actually exist with purpose. You're not just going through life, just going through the motions. I go to work every day, I make money, I pay my bills, I got up, wake up and do the same thing without no sense of like, I am doing what I'm supposed to do. That lack of understanding and knowing what you're supposed to be here to do, because guess what, guys? Newsflash, we all have a purpose to fulfill. So, just a little segue. This week, I discovered something. And this lady said something that really was profound to me. She said, let me say how she said it. She said, a person could be your friend in physical and not your friend spiritually. And I was like, whoa, what does she mean? And guys, I went into the Bible and I found the understanding for it. And so I'm going to tell you right now, when you are in that space where you can detect who is and who isn't for you, and they all have a purpose to play in your life, it makes so much sense. You don't feel like you have to take everything personal. Like somebody could come and they could be so mean and you like cannot understand, why would that person be that way to me? I am so good to them, because they came for a purpose. They are there to actually push you into your purpose even more. So I want you to understand, regardless of what you're doing right now, if you don't know what you are here to do, you're blocking not only your blessing, but the blessing that might be for me or somebody else. Our blessings are interconnected. That means we are interconnected to get blessings from each other. When you figure out what your purpose is, guess what? I get to get the blessings of that. When I figure out what my purpose is, she gets to get the blessings from that. So it is definitely interconnected. So here is what I had here. I wrote down that wealth is easily obtainable once you follow the principles. Wealth is easily obtainable once you follow the principle. If you ever read the book The Richest Man in Babylon, he talks about the principles of getting rich. If you follow those principles, you will get rich. What are the principles of following to get in peace? Ooh, that's interesting, right? What are the principles that you must follow in order to have peace in your life, to obtain happiness? Because we put happiness at the people we love doorstep and expect to find happiness. And happiness is right within. So let's talk about it. Question: do anyone here feel they have achieved happiness in their life? Like, solidly say, you know what, I am fulfilled, I'm happy, I'm in purpose, I'm living. If you feel that way, put it in the chat. Let me know right now, because that's a beautiful thing. I would love to hear from you guys if you feel that way. Put it in the chat right now if you have actually do that. So it comes like, if I don't know if you have ever, you guys are slow to talk. Put in the chat, man. Gosh, tell me what you think. Absolutely not. I love your honesty, sweetie. I love your honesty. Well, that's what we're going to help you to understand today. I love that. Here's the thing: I thought I knew what happiness was about 15 years ago. And then I discover no, it's not through your husband. Because if he's not catering to you or doing whatever, girl, you miserable. Girl, I don't think God wanted anybody to rely so much on anybody else to get their happiness. Hell to the no. So how do we obtain this happiness that we desire so much? I have here. The question becomes, okay, before I say that, I wrote down that none of these things are exclusive to mutually exclusive. You can have wealth and you can have happiness. The two are definitely obtainable by anybody. Well, by Christians. The one is obtained by anybody, and that's wealth. So since you can get both of those, let's see how you can do so. People often talk about what comes before the other. Does the eggs come before the chicken or the chicken come before eggs? Since that's debatable, we're not talking about that tonight. But I'm going to tell you what. Can you understand that if you have a sense of happiness and peace, wealth is easily found? But it doesn't necessarily mean if you have wealth, happiness is easily found. Because if you, and I am being presumptuous in what I'm saying, because if I say, if you find true happiness, peace within God, then you're going to follow the rules of his principle to get to the wealth. Does that make sense, guys? Let me know if it makes sense. Is that making sense? So there was a young guy that he actually, thank you, I appreciate it. So before I tell you the story, I want to tell you, if you don't know what it means to be intentional or be, what's the word, purposeful in anything you do, I'm telling you, unless you know who you are, you cannot be. So there is a young man, this is a story, a young man, his father gave him a ring and he told him to go to the market and try to sell the ring because they needed money. And so he went to the market and tried to sell the ring, and the people were like, this is, we can give you no money. Like, they were giving him a couple dollars for it. And he's like, no, my dad want more money. We got to pay this debt. We need more money. They said no. So the dad sent him back to another place, and he kept going to these different places. Father said, "Don't come back until you sell the ring." And he couldn't get the ring sold for anything that was needed to pay off the debt. So when he came back, his father said, "Where did you go?" He said, "I went to the marketplace. I went to this place. I went to that place, but no one actually was willing to give me the money that we needed to pay the debt." The father said to him, "Why didn't you go to the jeweler?" And he said, "Oh, I didn't think about that." So the father said, "Now go to the jeweler." So when he goes to the jeweler sees the ring, and the jeweler says, "Whoa, this is value a lot." And the jeweler gives him all the money and more, and they pay the debt off. The moral of that story to tell you, understand, if you don't know who you are, is because you've been going to the wrong place to get the answer. You've been going to what social media say, you've been going to what society said, you've been going to everybody except the one who created you. In order to get the answer you're desiring, you have to get in line with the one who created you. I had a BMW Li 750, and I love that car, but it was really expensive to maintain. And every time I tried to maintain it outside of BMW, it cost me more. So my story in that is to tell you, if you don't get in alignment with the creator, you're constantly getting the wrong information and the wrong evaluation of who you are. Do you get that? Do anybody get that? Did you get what I just put down? Because that's crazy. The jeweler is the only person can give you the value to jewelry. Why would you go to the marketplace to get somebody who's selling Bora or to tell me your ring look rusty? Me ain't giving you no money for that. But if you go to the one who knows about it, they will tell you. Not hallelujah. Yes. So, guys, I'm gonna want you sit on that thought for a second. Let's jump into a quick commercial, and then we're gonna come back. Let's jump into a quick commercial. We come back. Let's take a sip. Take a sip. This is sip and chat. We got to sip our. I had some cooler. Yeah. So yesterday we were fortunately to get our new flask early. So here's what the thing I love about my flask is that I can put hot and I can put cold in it. Because I'm a cold girl. I love my cold stuff in the morning. And I know that it's gonna stay cold and I can take a good sip of it. And it is cold. Now, I don't care about that as much as when I see that my flask reminds me of something that is so innately important to me, like reminding me that I'm enough, girl. It's given. It's given. You know, it's given. Confidence. It's given. Don't fool with me. Don't mess with me. It's giving all that and still giving cold stuff. I want it. You should have it. I'm just saying. So, guys, we're back. Right. So, let's get into this even deeper. Now, if you're in an intimate relationship with God, then you ought to know who you are. But sometimes we don't go all the way. We get into a relationship, but not an intimate relationship. So if you're not in an intimate relationship, then you're going to be affected by your experiences, your culture, your atmosphere. Those things are all going to take root in you. And so that means you're going to start believing the lies. There are people on here right now that has been sexually abused, physically abused, emotionally abused, mentally abused. And so when those things are horrible things to happen to any one of you. But when those things happen, guess what we start doing? We start believing the lie. Because I was sexually abused, I don't deserve any better. I'm not worth it. Because we are mentally abused, I look for it. We start to believe lies that comes from actually these things happening to us. But what if we was to start thinking about, yes, it have happened to us, but how can we learn from it and move forward? Understand, if you are not forgiving yourself, you're not actually acknowledging what happened, then you are going to be stuck. And therefore, if you're stuck, you'll believe in a lie. You believe in the lie that you're worthless. That's why it happened to you. You look for it. I am not worthy of it. All the different things that could come from being injured in that way, you start to believe it. And when you believe it, you start to actually get stuck. So then you approach relationship in a way that you never expect anything good to come out of it. You go through the motions, but you don't believe. So you allow someone to just talk to you anyhow, because guess what? It's the best I can do. Those are all lies that are coming. Now, if you was to say you in relationship with your father who's above, what does he say about you? What does he say about you? He said, you are royalty. You were created in his image. So, does that mean because you were created in the image, you're not exposed to the things of this world? Yes, you're still exposed. So, what do you do after you get exposed and you get hurt? What do you do to move forward? That's the question. How do you get to move forward? Because if a woman been raped, God knows if she doesn't get the help she needs, she's never, ever going to look at the person or partner ever the same way again. If a woman has been physically abused, you could be in a room and a woman who has been physically abused, you move your hand and she will ginch because she would never interact the same way again unless she gets help. And she has a struggle because she's thinking, if God so loved me, how could this happen to me? How could this have happened to me? And we got to remind yourselves that first thing, we are living in this kind of world, like the sinful world, and things happen to us. But what do we do with the thing? So here's a thought for you. So I was one time in my prayer room and I was praying, and when I was praying, the story of the man who was at the gate, I think it's of Bethany, and he was begging, and he was blind, and so the disciples he begged the disciple, and the disciple said to Jesus, like, who sinned? Was it his mother or was it him? And he said, neither of them sinned. Like, so he was made that way so that my glory can be realized. And I promise you, I'm gonna sound like I'm blaspheming, but I'm not. I'm telling you the truth. In that moment, I thought to myself, oh my God, do we have a God that's a narcissist or something? I know I said it. That's the truth. That's what I thought. Because I was like, why would you make that man be like that? And he's sitting there begging. And God put on my spirit. He says, put on my spirit, look for this man. And this man that he showed me had no arms, no legs. And so when I came out of my prayer room, I went and I Googled. I didn't have a name. I just Googled a man with no arm, no leg. And good night, my dear. When I Googled it, a man came up and he was a preacher. And I started paying attention. I was like, he's preaching. Then I see he's swimming. Then I see he's cooking. He got no arm, no leg. I can't swim. How he gets to swim? And so I tell you that story to tell you that in spite of what have happened to you sexually, physically, emotionally, mentally, you can still win. You can still win. This man was swimming, and I have two arms, two legs, and cannot swim. So it's not what I have that hinders me, it's how I think that stops me from getting what I'm supposed to get. I hope somebody picked that up because I just dropped that down. There's a man that's right next to me, got no arms, no legs, and he's swimming. And me, two arms, and I ain't gonna lift my legs up, but two legs and can't swim. So, what is the thing that he has that I don't have? A different perspective. He has a different perspective. He's not a victim. He's not blaming God. He's not in a space of pity. He's like, I'm going and get mine. And a whole bunch of you right now need to understand. You just need to switch the mind up and go get yours because you can get it in spite of what happened. it didn't come to break you, I guarantee you could make it make you. Because of it, you can definitely propel yourself in a different direction. Is anybody getting this? Like, this is so good. Like, I'm loving it. Like, this is so good. Do you understand right now where you're stuck? You could tell me the saddest story. I just told you a man that has no arms, no leg, cook, clean, swim. But how did he do that? Like, why is he not mad at God? Like, he should be the one, right? Well, I'm going to tell you this. Fast forward to like maybe 4 years ago, I paid $600 to listen to him speak in Dallas here. So now he's a millionaire. So not only does he take this, what did God give him, no arm, no leg, and make millions, he has a wife. I think it was 4 children. He's like a torso, but a beautiful soul, a soul that can see God in the midst of what have happened to him. So I'm asking you, sis, whoever's listening to me right now, can you see God in the midst of it? Like, could you see God right now in the midst of what is happening to you? Because you will miss the boat and start living just to go with the flow and not with purpose. So I could tell you guys my story. Just a quick, like just a snippet of it. Married, husband in jail. I get an affair with a married man. Fast forward, we got married, and guess what? We forget that we plant seeds, right? So if I was to get a mango seed right now and I plant that seed, guess what fruit I'm gonna bear? Mangoes. And guess what? I planted a seed by having an affair, and guess what I got back? Yes, I did. I got a tenfold back, and boy, did it burn. But I could have either do one or two things. I could have go pour me, or I said, God, okay, what am I supposed to learn from this? What am I supposed to get from this? How is this supposed to move me forward? And in all my pain, and all my tears, guess what was birthed? The woman who helps hundreds and hundreds of women and men to actually navigate relationships. So in the midst of my mess, God birthed this. So where is your mess supposed to take you? Where is your mess supposed to carry you? Bless others. Where is it supposed to go? Because I guarantee you, you have something in there to do something for someone else. Because again, we are all interconnected. Very interested. Hey, Miss Fiona. How are you doing, my dear? We are all interconnected. Without me going through that, you guys wouldn't want me coach. You'd be like, oh, she's your perfect marriage. Like, please, what she could tell me. No, but I walked in your shoes. We gotta exchange shoes at some point. So it doesn't have to be the exact thing, but because I know what pain feels like, I know what it looks like, I watch it dead in his face, I could actually relate to your pain. I could actually empathize in your pain. Without that, what am I talking to you from? Oh, my degrees, I got that. But gosh, really? You think that will actually give insight into what you're experiencing? So what is it that you had to deal with that was unique to your circumstances that you're supposed to speak into somebody else's life? Guys, let's take a commercial. I want you to ponder that question, and when I come back, I want to see an answer put up in there. And guys, remember to share the live. Share the live. So let's jump into.
Remember your gifts that you received last Christmas? I think I remember I got a shoes. I wore it like twice. But it was really cute to get it. What about if you give a gift that you just don't forget it? You use it every day. It impacts your life every day on a daily basis. And it just keep giving. What if you was to get a gift like that? What would you think? I would think, this is great. Well, that's the first Discover Yourself journal. Yes, It is the kind of gift that continually give. That means your life is constantly impacted, and the people around your lives are constantly impacted, and the people around their lives are constantly impacted. Like, it is constantly given. It's like paying forward. So if you want to give a gift like that this Christmas, where it's just not put on the shelf or anything like that, or you wear it a couple times and you forget about it, get the first Discover Yourself journal. I'm telling you, it's the gift that keep on giving. And I who you are authentically. If you want to get that journal, check us out at Austin Bookstore, and you will be able to keep giving the gift that never stops giving. I love it.
Guys, so like just wanna you need to get this. I'm just telling you, if you don't believe you do, then you're listening to the conversation that's happening right now, then you're not listening clearly. So, um, how do you take the pain of what you have experienced and still live a purposeful life? Well, first you need to understand that whatever happens in your life, whatever caused you some pain, some hurt, I promise you there's something to learn from there. And once you learn it, you're no longer in the place of pain. You're a place of acknowledging that there were pain, but you're not living there anymore. Now, once you start moving from that space, you need to actually do a lot of forgiveness. You need to actually do a lot of forgiveness of self. And then you need to start getting in alignment back to the creator, back to the creator, creator, the creator, creator. You can hear me talk, but I always tell people, if y'all want to hear about God, don't talk to me. Don't come listen to nothing I got to say, because I can't help but talk about him, because he's the reason for everything that I have, what I'm doing, because that's how it happened. So how do you live in purpose was the big question that I asked. And acknowledging your pain is the very thing that hinders most people from living with purpose, because we get stuck in what happened to us, that we can't move forward to do what we're supposed to do. So I just told you it happened for a reason. It's really hard to see in the midst of sexual abuse, physical abuse, how that could have been for a reason. But God said he's going to make it work for your good. He promised you that. So it's just for you to change the way you look at it. Your perspective of it is what's going to change. And once that change, guess what? Everything start looking different. So we can look at life and we can see things from a lens that is so blurred, and it could be blurred by our pain or hurt or unforgiveness. But if we wipe that up a little bit and we put some, healing in there, we put some forgiveness in there, you will start seeing clear, like how I see through these glasses right now. You'll be like, what? Life is beautiful. So now that life is looking beautiful, how do I live with that purpose? As I said, getting in alignment with your Father. And I was in Guyana last weekend, and I was at the Orange the Runaway. I was a panelist. And one of the things I was saying to one of the moderators, I said, I don't like the word Christian. I said, I don't really use it. I don't associate with it too much. And the girl was like, really? I was like, yeah. She was like taken aback. And even when I said it on stage, why do I say that? Why do I say that? Let me tell you why I say it. Because there's a lot of us perpetrating a fraud. We say we are Christians. We're supposed to let that word actually speaks volume for what you expect to see next. I didn't say because we were Christians, we were absolved of any issues or any things happening to us. But when you say you're a Christian, the way I see it is that that statement comes with a whole bunch of responsibility. The way I show up in my life, the way I portray the God I say I love, everything about how I walk. But guess what? It just isn't the way it happens. It just isn't. So then we start misrepresenting the God that we say we love, and we start turning people who are not Christians away from Christianity because of how we say we love God and we Christians. So I don't like using that term. So because I think it's a loose term. I will faster say I'm a God-fearing woman, a woman of faith, because that's an intimate thing. So the couple things that you need to know in order to live on purpose. Get in relationship with God, intimate relationship. Forget how being I am a Christian and get intimately involved with him. Then, because you're there, I told you, you're going to learn who you are because he's a revealer of things. He's going to show you because he's going to speak to you clear as day. There's a whole lot of us walking around with a lot of pain and we can't hear him no more because we're stuck in our pain. We're still asking why it had to happen. Why me? And I hate to say this, but I say, why not you? Why not you? That's a little harsh, coach. Why would you say that? Well, I could say the same thing for my situation. Why not me? Because without me going through what I went through, how can I be here for you? How can I show up and be a coach? Like, do you understand? I impact lives, like hundreds of lives, like women. I don't even know if any of my students are on here, but women are constantly life being transformed. Oh my gosh, my last client today is a male. And for Guyana, he's a top 1%er. And he's like telling me today, he's a coach. Oh God, coach, you changed me life. Coach, my God, if I did not decide to walk in that purpose, what would have happened to that boy? Think about it. Because if I am tied to that, how is he getting it if I don't walk in it? So who on here am I tied to get a blessing from, or who you holding a blessing from because you're stuck in that place? Answer my questions, ladies. Are you getting what I'm putting down? So in order to get in alignment, sis, you have to go back to the drawing board. This is not a sales pitch. This is a necessary thing. If you want to find out who you are, you need to walk this. My sister-in-law, she is a, I would say she is an English guru. She's very well. All my husband's siblings are very good with the English language, but this one here, she wanted to write, and so I think she started writing. I see when she bought the book, and she sent to me her her um her review, and she said, "Gosh, Michelle, you put a lot of thought into this. I don't remember ever asking myself these questions." She says, "You did an amazing job." For me, that was a really big compliment because I know the person she is. You need to go back to the drawing board. I know there's so many things that have happened to you. There's so many injuries that have happened. You're probably in a situation right now that it's happening to you. Ask the Lord, what are you supposed to learn from this? For some of us, it's actually acknowledging that we might have put ourselves in the wrong place, and that's okay. You acknowledge it, you can move from it. For some of us, we just need to actually gain the information that is being given to us in a way that it's painful, but it's given to us. It prepares us for the future. Don't stay stuck because you're stuck with keeping your blessings suppressed and embedded in you. You have something to birth. Every last one of us have a, a goal that God give us to actually bring to fruition. You have a purpose. You did not just come to this earth to just get up, work, and go back to sleep, wake up, and then die. No, you did not, my sis. You came into this world with a purpose, and the sooner you realize that you are here for fulfilling of something, you will go and get it regardless of what is going on. My mom said to me, you say in spite of, don't matter what, in spite of, this is what I'm going to do. In spite of what is happening, in spite of how he's treating me, in spite of how they talk about me, in spite of how I was abused, in spite of how my mom was never for me, in spite of how my father left us, in spite of, I am going to get what God got for me. I'm not leaving it on the table. So who in here is ready to, in spite of, go get what God have for you? I ain't gonna say nothing more to you. Put in the chat. I want to know who is ready to, in spite of, go get what God have for you. I know you've been injured. I know they lied on you. I know he raped you. Oh God, I know it's horrible. I know that the husband you have mean as hell. I know that you got all them kids and you don't have no way. Yes, I know, I know, I know. I am not in any way minimizing your pain. I am just saying there's a greater thing than your pain, and that's realizing that God can do it in spite of what. You just have to fix your thoughts, fix your mind, and I promise you, I know this because I've seen it done in my life over and over and over. And it's the hardest thing to do. Absolutely, Janice. You guys are quiet on me. Hello, you guys getting quiet on me? Only Janice got a voice. I'm gonna sip to that. Janice says she ready. So what are you guys doing? What the rest of you doing? I know there's Onika, there's Stacy, there's um Charmin, there's Celia. You're ready. Absolutely, Michelle. So what do you have to do? What do you have to do if you're ready? What is the next best step for moving forward? Reflection. Reflection. Reflect on where you are and where you need to go. Drop all the things that needs to stay behind because everything can go. And those drop in may be people too. Some of you in a relationship that you shouldn't be in. That might need to be dropped. Some of you are in a place that you live and you shouldn't be. There's a whole lot of things that could be happening in your life right now that don't need to be happening. And only you alone can make that switch. So when you reflect, get honest with yourself. Get honest with yourself and then decide, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to move forward. I will not let this hinder me anymore. I can't do nothing about what has already happened. What I can do is what is going to happen. And you could make it happen. Understand, you can decide to be a co-author on this narrative, what is called your life. So you can co-author with God, partner up with Him, and decide to write it differently. Paint that canvas differently and use the pain to get rid of that stuff, get your healing, and move forward. And I must tell you, I'm not trying to force my journal down your throat. Let me see. Do I have an open journal? I do. I just don't know where. I just don't know where it is. Yes, coach, reflection, and with God's guidance, you will get there. Absolutely. With God guidance, you will get there. But remember, I want you guys to remember something that God says: use wisdom. And with wisdom, he said, prayer is what he said, prayer without work is what? It is dead. So you have to make sure that you're putting things in place. So if you were in a relationship that was abusive, then I want you to actually pay attention to what the things that you were attracted to. Look at the patterns of that person, examine it so that you don't repeat it, right? If you were actually sexually molested as a child, I want you to actually get healing by, if you can, come to a person like me or get a counselor. Then you have to do something like the journal, because the journal lends the healing part too. And then you actually get healing and make sure that you position yourself that you are not in that place anymore and you don't hold anything. When I tell you, when I tell you, pray for the people that hurt you is a must. It's hard. But when you do it, girl, you're releasing everything and it's all on them now. It's all on them. You done your work, gotta deal with that. He said he would take revenge for you. He said it. Guys, what do you think? I know it's a lot, but I want to hear from you guys. What do you think? Do you think it's doable for you? I swear, hour goes by so fast, I can't even tell. Latoya, how are you doing, my dear? I hope you're using your journal. Guys, we're going to do one more commercial. When we come back, we're going to play our Do You Know Your History? I want to know if you have
Begin
any
an
quick
exciting adventure of self-discovery. This journal is your own special place to embark on a meaningful journey of exploring and understanding yourself. Get your own copy today. The Discovery of Who Am I? Whose am I? I Am Journal. You can now find the OLM Journal at Austin's Bookstore, located at Lot 190 Church Street, Georgetown. Just Because Shop, located at Miss Proper Boutique at the corner of 1st and Albert Streets, Albertown. And Pure Elegance Beauty Salon, located at Rayon House of Fashion Building, 73 Rock Street between Camp and Wellington Street.
Hi guys, we're back. So thank you, Latoya, girl. See my black pants. Girl, I love this. I love it. Thank you very much. You guys know Coach love the dress. I love it. I like this whole big poofy stuff, and I love that I look like a little headmistress. Maybe Mr. Cumberbatch would like that look tonight. Let me stop. Let me stop. So, guys, I got this question for you guys. Are you guys been really slow tonight in the communication? I want you guys to know you've been slow tonight with the communication. So I'm gonna ask you a question, and I want you guys to put in the chat your answer. Let me see if you can finish the sentence. Let's put up the question. Come on, guys. Let's get that answer in there. I am shocked nobody have an answer up yet. I am believing that this thing is slow. I don't understand. Yep. Yep. That is Rion. Well, I must say tonight, guys, um, my deepest condolence for the loss of the people who actually perished in that helicopter flight. My heart is going out to their loved ones, and I am trusting God to protect. Guyana. Um, I expect you guys to be doing the same thing by praying and trusting God to cover Guyana from the hands of the evil ones. They will not put their hands on it. It is not theirs, therefore they will not get the benefit. Anyone have a quick question before we go? Anyone have a question? I don't understand why Facebook is so slow because all those answers you guys put it take forever to come on up. Oh my gosh, Facebook, please. Well, guys, it has been a awesome hour. I want you to understand that if you want to live with purpose in your life, you can't eliminate the one who created you. You cannot go to the world for answers on who you are. You cannot go to social media because they all will give you the wrong answer. And because you have the wrong answer, you make wrong decisions. So I encourage you to get in line with the one who created you because he has the actual manual. When the children get toys that comes with a manual. That's the manufacturer created that manual because he knows best how to put things together. So when you find him, you will definitely find self. And self is definitely going to show up in making decisions that is going to be predicated on the values that you are living by. In my course, I teach women their belief system, their principles, because those are the things that you actually govern your daily lives. And if you're not aware of it, you're making choices unconsciously. That's no way to live. Start making conscious and intentional choices in your life so that they can turn out the way you would like it to turn out. Now, if you want to pick up a journal, I have journals in the US and I have journal in Guyana. The journal in Guyana is in Austin bookstores and it's at Miss Proper Boutique. And if you want to get it from the US, you just have to hit us up on 694-9614. That's what's up, 694-9614. And it will definitely be shipped to you. Now, it was a blast. I will see you guys next week, same time, and have a fabulous rest of your week. I love you. Be blessed.